Hello, and welcome to another newsletter from Construction Programs and Results. I'm Michael Stone, and I will be sharing our newsletter with you. On September 16th at 9 a.m. Pacific Time and 12 p.m. Eastern Time, we would like you to join us for a webinar on how to hire employees for your business. Contractor Staffing Source will be presenting the webinar, and Devin and I will be here as backup. Even if you have all the people you need in your business, it is a good idea to see what others are doing and collect some new ideas to improve your employee pool. If you are like many contractors around the country, you are looking for good people to hire to help your business. Come and sit in on this webinar. It will be well worth your time. Our client list here at Construction Programs and Results literally goes around the world. We have clients in 43 countries, and today's newsletter shows that contractors from other countries have the same problems that you do. That said, let's take a look at today's newsletter, Contract Completion Clauses. Many of the challenges contractors face in construction are the same, regardless of what country they live in. This note came in recently, and she wrote, "Greetings from Barbados. I trust you are doing well despite the global challenges," and we thank her for that concern. "I have a question with regards to liquidated damages. We're at the contract stage with a potential client, and her lawyer is asking for the inclusion of this clause. They wanted to read that should we not complete the works within the specified time period, then we agree to pay the client X dollars per week until the works are done. Our lawyer says that's not an easy clause to enforce because there are too many other conditions that must be met first, but it is a clause that the legal fraternity seems to want to include. We personally do not want to include any clause that says we must pay a client because our contract is a fixed price and it's already in our interest to complete our projects on time. My husband believes that if the liquidated damages clause is included to penalize failure to meet deadlines, then a clause should be included to reward completing the works ahead of schedule. I'd like to get your thoughts on this so I know how to answer the client without blatantly saying no and have legal hold up the process longer than they already have. Looking forward to hearing from you," and that's the end of her note. Her husband is right. If they want a penalty in the case the job runs late, then they should be willing to pay an equivalent amount or more if the job gets done early. During the last year and a half, supply lines have failed and suppliers can't guarantee delivery. In many areas, the labor force would rather stay home and collect unemployment than go to work. That means you can't be sure you'll have labor to build a job, any more than you can be sure of material delivery schedules. These are problems that both you, your subcontractors, and your suppliers are facing. For that reason, I would also write in exclusionary clauses that give you a pass on the penalty if your suppliers don't meet your timeline, if you can't get sufficient crews assembled to do the work, if you have any inclement weather or other acts of God, if the owners get in the way or won't make decisions that slow the job progress, etc. However, we've talked about red flags before. This is a situation where you should think long and hard before getting involved. These clients either are out to get you or simply don't understand how construction works. Many years ago, I had a similar experience on a sales call. A homeowner told me he was going to insist on a penalty clause, giving him a price reduction of $150 a day. This was many years ago. Every day that the job ran over the time frame that he had set. I told him that was fine if he'd agree to pay $200 extra for every day that we finished the job early. "Oh, no," he said. "You'll just cut corners on my job to finish early." If that was how I conducted business, I would also cut corners to finish the job on time. 30 seconds later, I could see him and his house in my rearview mirror. It's reasonable for the building owner to be concerned about how long it will take to do a job. Too many contractors are flakes who fiddle part around for weeks on a job. It happens more often on cost-plus jobs. That's why it's important to set a reasonable schedule and keep it. Pay attention to what you communicate. If you think the job will take 4 weeks, warn them it might take 5 or even 6 weeks. Under-promise, over-deliver. There are many things outside your control, like the uncertainty of the supply chain and the labor force, and if something happens that throws your schedule off, you need to let the homeowners know right away. The writer is correct that on a fixed price contract, it's in the contractor's interest to complete projects on time. That's a strong selling point when you're working with an owner who thinks cost plus or time and material contracts are the way to go, which they are not. When customers start talking about penalties like this, it's time to ask why. The reason is seldom in your favor. Every agreement you enter must be a win-win or just walk away. There are plenty of building owners who need your skills. Thanks again for watching, and may the profits be with you.